Hey guys, welcome back. We are borrowing Bob's in-scale man cave to do an in-scale review on the Intermountain SD40-2W. This one equipped with DCC and ESU LOKSound, and the MSRP is $239.95, but you can find these available at online retailers and brick and mortar hobby shops. I've seen discounts as low as the high 170s, 180s, 190s, but I'll put a link to below to a good retailer. But for now, let's take a look at what you get in this box next. So for in-scale reviews, all we do really is an unboxing, operation, sounds, or a few of the sounds. I don't do pull test or weight. Like I might do weight, but no pull test. So a little different than HO. This scheme is Pennsylvania Northern. We've also got a Canadian National I will show you that has actually been in the area that Bob and I live in. So that's always cool to have something that's actually been in the area that you can model that was at one time a local engine or passing through. I kind of have fun looking at different locomotives on the websites that come to the Omaha area and seeing what they have. In the package here are a couple sunshades, very, very small. Probably tweezer application would be good for that. And since I'm pretty shaky, I'm going to skip that. But we'll look under the box here, under the molding, where you have your nomenclature paperwork. You've got information on resetting the decoder, operating the SD40-2, and DCC non-sound decoder information as well. And if you open it up further, it talks about shell removal on these guys. You can always pause your screen if you want to look at that, and there's a full list of functions, and there's configuration variables and such. Enough of the paperwork, that's not fun. Let's look at the toys and see what it's all about on the SD40-2W. Alright, we're looking at the locomotive from a unique perspective. It's kind of the top. We're going to look at all the top detail because that's where things are really popping off first. You've got the bell, which is mounted between the number boards. You've got an ice skate antenna, the exhaust. You have a dustbin hatch. You've got a little lift ring detail, horn, dynamic brake fans, winterization hatch, radiator fans. You got the blower housing down here, so we kind of take a peek at the side. You got nice truck detail, fuel tank detail, including emergency shutoff and sight glass. Stanchions are pretty good. Very little wave to the handrails. They are plastic. The radiator fans are on the side here. Pennsylvania Northern, nice on the side. Clear and legible from what I can see. There is a smooth platform, not safety treaded, on the all around the locomotive. Looking at the back, trying to get that in focus there. Don't have our normal turntable. You've got the brake wheel. You have the stanchions on the back, safety chain. So on the back here, you've got stanchions, plastic, brake wheel stand and brake wheel, rear light. Number boards on the back, separately applied grab irons. You can see the radiator fans from this angle as well. On the other side, more of the same detail. You can see on the cab how the bell hangs down in between the number boards, windshield wipers, headlights, ditch lights, and you've got the couplers there too, and the snowplow. So that's about it on detail. Let's look at operation. A little quick scale action going on here. You've got 86 grams, 3 ounces. So that is the weight of the locomotive. Alright, so the locomotive's on the track. We are going to go over just a few of the 21 functions available on this locomotive. We're going to start with ESU startup, which is F8. Alright, now we're going to go with bell F1. Pretty good sound out of that N-Scale Loco. F2 horn. That sounds really good. Okay, F3 is coupler. F4 is dynamic brake. And you have to actually move it to get the dynamic brake going. So we'll move it at 1 speed step. You can see a little of the... There we go, stop it. You hear the prime mover notch up and back down. That's also something you can do. There's what's called drive hold, which we'll skip, which is F9, where you can actually activate F9 and then rev it up, release F9, just like you're taking all the slack out of your consist. There's the radiator fans, a bunch of different sounds. Those are just a few I wanted to go over, but again, 21 functions in total. Alright, we're going to go over slow speed control. There is momentum built in from the factory on this locomotive, so it may take a while to spin up. You may hear the prime mover out of sequence with the actual moving of the locomotive, things like that I'm noticing out of the box. But we'll go ahead and move it at the slow speed steps first, starting with just 1. And it's underway. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Looks like by about 5 you're smoothed out. It may require a break-in period. May just be the drive, but there is a little lurch in there, but N-Scale is more susceptible to that than HO. We'll go in reverse now. Lights in each direction, LEDs by the way. It's 1 in reverse. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alright, and we'll stop it there. So that's both forward and reverse. There is a light clicking that when you don't have the sound on, that is detectable in a couple different versions we have. On the run by at the end, I will show you the Canadian National version so you can see that. So you may experience that clicking with your model as well. The sound from the unit does usually overcome that clicking. It can be faintly heard if you pay attention, otherwise it's not really there. Just a quick view of the headlight. That is a golden white LED. You can see that with a little bit of darkness cast on the loco. Well, that's going to do it from the Bob's N-Scale Man Cave, looking at this Intermountain SD40-2W with DCC and ESU LOKSound. Pretty good model overall. The only things I could find on the model that could be an issue for some picky folks is maybe that light clicking or the slow speed step control, but that could obviously be remedied with a break-in run on these locomotives, so don't necessarily have that count you guys out. Overall, great locomotive. I think I'm going to leave you with a run-by of the Canadian National SD40-2W on DeBob's N-Scale layout, heading towards his roundhouse, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.